As for Iran, everyone is waiting to see what America will do. And the world offers nothing, Europe offers nothing, and doesn't not want to enter this issue as the supporter of the Iranian people and the democracy they need. But when you refuse to help the people fighting for freedom, the consequences return, and they are always negative. Belarus in 2020 is the example. No one helped their people, and now Russian Oreshnik missiles are deployed in Belarus within range of most European capitals. That would not have happened if the Belarusian people had won in 2020.
It's such a good point. And Zelensky was on fire yesterday, and he's accurate. He was not only just talking about Ukraine, he was saying, look at how you look to the aggressors in this world, whether it's China or Russia. And Belarus overthrew Lukashenko. He lost the election. Lukashenko calls Putin. Putin helps him suppress the rebellion. And now he becomes a vassal state of Russia, and they're used as a staging area in Ukraine. It's all related. Now, he calls him out and says, what are you going to do in Iran? What are you going to do? You're depending on the U.S., who you keep criticizing to do stuff. And guess what we're doing? It looks like we're prepared to take action. I'm not sure, but we have an armada, in the president's words, an armada is steaming their direction. We'll be in the Persian Gulf, if it's not there now, shortly. Shervin Pishevar is with us now. He's an Iranian-American entrepreneur, technology strategist, and democracy advocate focused on advancing uncensorable internet, which has been shut down in Iran, and satellite connectivity in authoritarian environments, which really is the definition of what Iran is now. Shervin, right now, wasn't Zelensky right in what he was saying?
Thank you, Brian, for having me on the show. This is a historic moment, and this topic is so important for the future of our world. Absolutely, he's right. We have to fight back against what I call these corrupt criminal gangs that have taken over sovereign nations with nuclear bombs or seeking nuclear bombs, funding terrorist proxies all over the world, exporting their terrorist ideologies, Islamo-socialist ideologies into Europe. Europe has fallen. America has a mayor in New York City, our biggest city, that is part of that same alliance. We have to wake up. The world has been asleep. Millions of Iranians came out on the streets, defenseless, courageous, one of the greatest acts of courage that anyone has ever seen. And then they were slaughtered just a week ago in 48 hours. The numbers are now reaching 20,000 dead. That's over 10 murders a second at 16,000 dead. So you can do the math as the numbers keep increasing. They're going into hospitals and killing defenseless people in the hospitals. This is medieval, evil ideology that has taken over Iran in the revolution in 1979. What a huge mistake Carter made, the beginning of the woke kind of socialist, democratic alliances that began to happen, thinking that bringing an Ayatollah like Khamenei into power of one of the richest oil countries in the world was a good idea. Look what's happened. We've had 47 years of the Iranian people living under slavery, living in essentially an open-air prison, and now an extermination camp. And if we don't stop them, if we don't support leaders like Reza Pahlavi, the Crown Prince, who wants to bring in democracy to Iran, Iran was allied with America and Israel before 1979. We had a huge ally. We lost that. And look at the repercussions for us in the world. And this can be corrected. Thank God that in this moment in history, we have President Trump, we have Prime Minister Netanyahu, we have Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. These three leaders are playing a historic role. It wouldn't be possible without their moral courage. And they told people to come out, and there's a moral duty to do something. They said, we have your backs, we're armed and loaded. And guess what? The Armada, as you said, is right there willing and able to do something about it. and end this evil regime.
So we see the USS Abraham Lincoln is making its way that direction, right through the South China Sea. It was there. Now it's been spotted right in the region. The George H.W. Bush is also at sea in the Atlantic, bound for the region and departing from Virginia's naval station over in Norfolk. So that is some serious firepower. But what's interesting, Shervin, from the military perspective, I've never seen Prime Minister Netanyahu publicly say, ask America to hold off. I don't think they were ready. Missile defense wise, they also, I think, need us if they're going to get hit with a series of ballistic missiles. I think they need us there to help knock those rockets out of the sky. So,
absolutely.
What do you think? And I know other nations who are rivals of Iran in the region asked us to hold off. Why do you think that is?
Look, the 12-day war was extremely successful. The target was to get rid of the nuclear capability, and they did. I wish they had finished the job. I keep saying finish the job, and to finish the job means get rid of the supreme leader and all of the generals and leaders of this evil regime, and let the people finish the job after that. The Crown Prince is ready to go back to the country. The reason I think the hesitation is there, people are, it's normal. People are afraid of repercussions and what
they don't
could
know
happen,
what's next.
etc.
They don't know what's
They don't
next.
know what's next. But we know what's next. The Iranian people have already come in the streets by the millions. They've given up their lives for freedom. They are the vast majority of the country. This is a country of 92 million people. This is not Afghanistan. This is not Iraq. This is not going to be a failed state. The oil revenues are going to go into accounts just like in Venezuela that are going to be legalized by the president's executive order that they did on Venezuela. And then that can fund the interim government and can fund the operations of the country and the reconstruction of the country, and until there's a referendum and a vote on what kind of democracy they want. There's a process to be had. There's an interim government to be formed. And luckily, we have the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi stepping up.
Here, Shervin, I got to stop you there because
lead.
the president says he's a nice man, but he does not have popular support for the type of thing where he could take power. What is your take on what the president believes and has been told about his popularity in the country?
I think if you just have to take a look at the videos, there's millions of people in the streets. He called out for them to come out at 8 p.m. They did. Javid Shah means long live the Shah. His name is on the lips of these people that went out. There's many videos where they're saying this might be my last video, and they went out in the streets and they said Reza Shah's name to come back and lead the country. The proof is in the videos.
So which should you hit, Shervin? I know you're not a military analyst, but where are the places that you would target if you were the U.S. and you wanted to take out this evil regime? What do you do?
The capabilities of this regime. This is not asking for carpet bombing. No one would ask for that. We're asking for very precise hits on the leadership, on either arresting Khamenei like they did Maduro, or hitting them where it hurts, and also hitting the military capabilities that they're using, the military depots, the weapons depots that they're using to massacre people in the streets with weapons grade guns. So.
Yeah. So I want you to hear this. Congressman Jason Crow, a Democrat and Army Ranger, said this about the president. Obviously, he's got some critics. Cut 31.
Iran is another good example. Iran is a rogue, violent terrorist regime, to be very clear. But is the answer to that to go to war with Iran? I firmly believe no. But more than anything, if that's what they think is in the interest of this country, then it damn well should be debated and voted on in the building behind me. That's the point.
So you understand American politics. So he had critics in Venezuela, and it was a brilliant operation. What about this?
Look, I think the bigger issue here is that we are in the critical hours. What's decided in the next few days or weeks will really determine the next decades ahead, not just for Iranians in Iran, but for the whole world. We cannot have a country with the oil reserves and energy reserves like Iran have the ability to finance terrorism around the world and export hate. We saw what happened in the Middle East for 47 years when they did that. We see what they're doing, invading Europe and America with their ideologies and their agents. We are already at war, and it's time to finish it.
So the IRGC, and I guess we'll see. Do you think that Israel has to help us with this?
Oh, absolutely. I think Prime Minister Netanyahu is very committed to ending this regime and helping free the Iranians. And if you study the Bible, Cyrus the Great, 2,500 years ago, the great Persian leader who declared the first Declaration of Human Rights, he freed the Jews from slavery in Babylon 2,500 years ago, returned them to their homeland in Jerusalem, rebuilt their temple. And in biblical symmetry, 2,500 years later, it's Israel and the Jews that are helping free the Iranians from their slavery.
Lastly, do you worry about sleeper cells here being enacted? I mean, they're already trying multiple times to assassinate Trump.
Absolutely, they've already tried. Their agents are in the U.S. and all over Europe. There's a reason why the background here is out of focus in terms of location. I'm already on the most wanted list of the Islamic regime for being such a vocal advocate for the freedom of the Iranian people. It's time to expel all of the Islamic regimes, ambassadors, diplomatic staff in all over the world. In Europe, they work out of the Pakistani embassy in Washington, D.C., and they recruit agents. They need to be expelled.
Shervin, then do you have any reason to believe the president's looking to take action?
I think that the president, having known him, I've had dinner with him, spoken to him about Iran. I think he's a man of his word. That's one thing I've learned about him. When he says what he said to the Iranian people, that if anything happens to them, he will take action. He has their back. They're armed and loaded. I believe him. I think we've all learned to believe President Trump when he makes a promise.
Yeah, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, Maduro. We see Syria. Yeah, you take our guys, we're going to take a lot of your guys. And I think that's pretty clear. And then the Iranian operation to blow up their nukes. He tried 5 rounds of talks. There wasn't a 6th. Shervin, thanks so much. Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Our audience appreciates the insight. Rather than ranting, you have insight, so we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Shervin Pishevar, the Iranian-American entrepreneur.